Hello, this is Bloom. Today we have DeLapp here, who is an expert on all things animalic when it comes to perfume making, and we're taking an opportunity to ask him some questions. The reason he's here is the launch of a new fragrance from Zoologist, Dodo. And Dodo features an accord of ambergris. And very often people ask that question, is accord better than the real thing? Is accord a cheap, inferior synthetic option? So I'm passing the question to the expert. Please tell us the pros and cons of using accords and why it's not necessarily an inferior thing. Thank you.
Well, thank you. So let me first say that beauty is always in the eye of the beholder. Myself, I love wearing oud, and a lot of people smell some really funky notes from oud. I love how it smells, others may not. And so when we talk about the difference between naturals and synthetics and how do things smell, what's the best, remember, everything that people say is an opinion, even what I say here. So take everything I say with a grain of salt and maybe a splash of Dodo. Yeah. So when it comes to using synthetic animalics and fragrances, part of it is a question of cost, part of it is a question of ethicalness. Some people have problems using animal ingredients, others don't. Sometimes also when you're using a natural material, you have a fixed range that the natural can smell like. And so by either using synthetic components or sophisticating a natural with synthetics, however you want to go about it, there's lots of ways that we can create these things. You begin to expand that perfumery box and the capabilities and capacity of what it can accomplish. And so when making a synthetic ambergris accord, there's a variety of molecules that you can pick from that would be classically used and fit within that box of ambergris, but then you can also begin to reach for other molecules that might not necessarily smell like ambergris, but might smell salty or a little bit sweet or a little animalic, and you can begin to flesh out and grow that box, grow that animalic note, grow that ambergris note. And so Dodo, of course, the concept is of a bird, and I wanted to make like, what's an avian animalic smell like? Mauritius, of course, is an island, and it's a bird that, although it doesn't fly, the salty ocean breeze comes in. And so I wanted that, you know, when you get really nice ambergris, you get it really does smell like salty ocean air. I've got a piece of ambergris, a few pieces of ambergris over here, so you can see the real thing. And when you do smell it, there is a salty note. If you've been to the ocean, obviously here in England we're on an island, I hope all of you have been to the beach at some point. You do get that salty air, and when making ambergris, I think good ambergris should have a little bit of an animalic kick, but also a pinch of salt on top, just like really good food. I think a little salt makes everything taste better. And so hopefully that answers your questions on the differences between the natural and the synthetic. When reaching for something natural, of course, I think that it has a very nice kind of 3D, four-dimensional effect on things, and the synthetic does this as well, in adding texture and complexity. So something can smell a little two-dimensional. Oksana was wrapping these earlier. You know, I wouldn't say that this is a very expansive fragrance, but by adding ambergris to a fragrance, whether natural or synthetic, it's going to make it feel a little larger than life, a little bigger than it should be. The colors are a little brighter, the textures have a little more texture to them. And the person wearing the fragrance, of course, somebody may not smell it as an individual note, but it seems to make your presence, your personality a little bit bigger. And this is why we use these animalic ingredients in fragrance.
Perfect. I also heard that some ingredients in ambergris accords come from a plant, like clary sage, ambroxan. Is that true? So it's not necessarily synthetic.
Right. So there's a little bit of misunderstanding here because there are lab techniques that are used. Really, it still falls under alchemy. It's not, we think of chemistry, but really its roots are back in alchemy, where you can take a material and add maybe a salt or some kind of something to it that changes it some. I have a background in cooking. I love to cook. And so, you know, caramelized onion, you caramelize that onion in whether it's, you know, butter or olive oil or duck fat or whatever, and it changes it a little bit.
I use sugar.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's so tasty. But the point here is that in the way that you prepare the material, you create molecules that may not have existed initially in the material itself. And that's how you create those flavors through the cooking process. The same is true about like taking some components from clary sage and then they're, I don't know the exact process that they make it, but there's, I think, a salt that's added that helps to change a few of the molecules that then gives it that, you know, that ambrox note, that ambergris note. And so actually there are some things that some might classify as being synthetic that are actually quite natural, but they maybe didn't exist initially like that, and so we tend to think of them as synthetic in that sense.
I see. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Well, thank you for elaborating on the pros and cons of accords versus naturals. There'll be another question in another video. Thank you.
Hey, you're welcome.